feel like it's been a long time since we've done this.
Did I just lose you? We went, oh, there you are. Okay,
No, there
cool.
we are. We're here, I think.
The second you hit live, it froze, and I was like, oh no, this is not working.
I don't know. My screen looks so different. I don't know what's happening. Something's always wrong.
We're doing great. We're doing great.
I think it's fine. Yeah, we're
You're
good.
cutting in it. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me now?
All right, we are live. We are doing a little crash preview, and we have a fun guest today. Should we just? And we have, if you see in the bottom corner, exciting announcement. So stay tuned for that. Also, all right, I'm just gonna jump into it. So today's guest, we're super excited, has been to the CrossFit Games on a team in 2021, 2023, and most recently in 2025 was on the 5th fittest team at the CrossFit Games. Not only is she an athlete, but also a sports chiropractor and a coach. And she'll be competing this weekend at Crash Camp, also known as Crash Crucible. Please welcome Hannah Hardy.
Hello. Thanks for having me.
Are we
no,
getting?
now it's
am
not moving.
I freezing again?
I don't know whose computer it is. It's not letting me.
I don't think you're freezing. I'm hearing you.
Okay, we're doing good. Welcome. Are you so excited for this weekend?
Dude, I'm so excited. This is my 4th time doing Crash Crucible. So it's always a fun time, like ever since like my first time in 2021. It's always a competition I look forward to every year. So, dude, I'm just ready to get this thing started.
Speaking of this comment, Pool Boy said Hannah's super cool. Met her at Fittest the Coast last year. Are you doing Fittest the Coast qualifiers right now?
I am not. I decided to actually take a break from competing a little bit. So
Okay.
I'm doing one competition in November and then actually giving my body time to maybe recover from the season because I decided to compete. Oh, I feel like more than most people, and then didn't really take a break after the games because the Crucible qualifiers were pretty much a week and a half after the games. So kind of had to stay in shape. But also like I want to, take the time to actually get better and train and work on my weaknesses. So I've set my season up strong. So I will be in Charleston though, because I would like to spend a weekend at the beach, which would be nice.
So I live in Charleston and I own a gym in Charleston that's literally 5 minutes from where Fittest of the Coast is. So you have to come work out when you're here.
Dude, I'm gonna pop in. No, we have a mutual friend in Ricky White or Ricky White Torito. I don't know if she does the hyphenation, but dude, she's my best friend. So dude, we're gonna all train together.
Awesome. Yeah, that'll be good too.
I was looking at your Instagram today and I saw CrossFit Games qualifier, beach brawl, Crash Crucible, and it's like one after another. I was like, oh, she's been busy. She's been
I've been so busy. I love competing and it's so much fun. I mean, I have such a blast doing it. I don't know if it's because I'm not old. I'm 28, but maybe like 4 years ago, I was a little bit, I was a spry chicken. I could, basically, run into a wall and then get up and just run into another wall. And I don't think I can do that anymore. So I'm trying to be the wise, mature athlete and maybe like take some time off. But then, yeah, like my friends are like, oh, we should do beach brawl, and then or like, oh, we should do Lake Norman Fit Fest, and I just say yes to everything. I'm like, that sounds great. And then I look at my calendar and I'm like, oh no. I'm gonna be dying. So been busy. It's always fun, but I'd be lying if I said like I wasn't tired.
We have a coach at our gym he's like 25, I think, and myself, I'm 34, and the owner, I think he's 37, and we're always complaining about how we're like kind of banged up or like not feeling great. And he's like, you guys are always just like yesterday, you guys are always talking about how you guys are old and don't feel good. I'm like, wait until you're our age and then you'll understand, because I did feel the same exact way when I was also 25, as I was like felt invincible. And like now you don't move as well anymore as you used to, so you kind of forget. It happens so fast.
No, it really does. And I don't know if it was like it really just like hit me this year. The just like I don't know if it's maybe I just compete. I'm just gonna tell myself I'm super fit and I'm just like compete at such an intensity that
Yeah.
maybe I just need a little bit more time to recover.
And
It's
I
probably
think
not
like
that. It's probably
also
age.
regardless of age, you need to like you need to have an off season.
Yeah. And I mean, and I think this just be nice. Like, I mean, like you said, like like CrossFit's not my only thing. Like, I was like, I am a chiropractor as well. So,
Mhm.
I use my off season to, make sure, like, okay, I'm doing well with the clinic. I'm getting out in the community more and building up that in so that when the season starts, okay, maybe I don't have to, be like as on it and like okay doing outreach marketing and all these other like behind the scenes things that aren't just clinic specific.
Yep.
So I just focus on being a doctor and then training really hard for the season, and then like you said, yeah, the off seasons to give the body a break and be maybe a little bit more work savvy.
Yeah, and just like kind of give your mind a break too from being that like level of focus on competition, right?
Yeah, yeah. It's like, and I mean, for me, it's like it's nice to be able to like have something else to like switch my brain to in the off season. I'm definitely somebody that I mean, I love going full throttle, like whether it's in my career or in CrossFit. So it's I get to I still get to have the same intensity and still have a goal to focus to. It just, yeah, like you said, like it's not 100% on competing or really like 100% my career. So it's nice to have both the bounce back and forth. Like half the year is on one thing, half the year is on the other.
Yeah, for sure. I was looking, I did a little bit of Hannah stalking today and looked at some of your like past placements and stuff. So like just looking at your trajectory in 2021, you go on a team and get 17th. In 2023, you go on a team, the games and get 22nd. And then in 2025, you get 5th, which is like a crazy jump. So tell us a little bit like what that looks like behind the scenes.
Yeah, I mean, my like first year at the games, I was very grateful when I was in grad school that I was just surrounded by so many fit competitors, and we decided to just put a team together and see what happens. And lo and behold, like we made the CrossFit Games, and I mean, for like our first appearance, so it was one guy. He went individual in 2015, but it was one of these things of like the other three of us were just floored to make the CrossFit Games, so we're just soaking in the moment and just getting that experience. And like so, going into my second year, my second year at the CrossFit Games, I think for me was okay. Like, yeah, I put a lot of expectation like on myself as a competitor, and and to say is like okay, I want to beat that placing from the first year. We also like we had a lot more. I mean, I think we put a lot more eggs into this team basket for our second year. Like, I mean, Mike, Tanner, and I moved to Training Think Tank, and then we're like, graciously able to be a part of this team. And for me, I think having that external pressure that I was just putting on myself, it wasn't really from anybody except for me. That's I think impacted my performance, which ended up impacting the team's performance. So taking just all right what I loved about just living in the moment of my first CrossFit Games and just being just grateful for being there, then knowing that okay, I put a little bit more pressure than maybe I should have by second year. Going into this third season, it was me saying, okay, how do I balance this two worlds of okay, like yes, our goal was podium this year, and knowing that all right, that's our collective team goal, but I want to make sure that okay, we're having fun, we are friends first and foremost, and we want to not only be the best competitors that we be and push ourselves to be great athletes, but how do we actually grow as humans and impact our community and grow that side of our lives as well. And I think it was just like this nice meeting in the middle of everything just fell into line of all right, like we were like, I mean, we are still great friends. Like, I'm so pumped. Like, even though Sammy and I are competitors, it's, it's like, oh man, I still have like like basically I get to compete with my like, one of my best friends like out there on the floor, which is so incredible. But like we had this amazing athletic goal, but we cared about each other as well from like the human standpoint. So I think having those two come together made us okay. That's how we got fifth versus having just one side of that or the just like the business competitor side of the team side of the sport.
Josh and I are from, I think, the same area. Somehow I know him. I'm from Illinois originally, or the St. Louis area, and
Yeah.
we've crossed paths multiple times. And I admittedly don't watch the team competition very often at the games, but the last few years, because I kind of know him, but not really know him, I have been watching. So I did watch you guys last year, or this year, I guess it was. I was very invested, but you guys killed it. I was so pumped.
No, he's a baller. So we've known each other for so many years. Like we both followed Misfit Athletics. Same thing with Brandon. Like that's how really the three of us knew each other back in the day. Like I was in my last year in undergrad. Of course, just like Brandon was, I think, in grad school at that point. I just knew Josh from the leaderboard because one of my training partners in Virginia, it was like he was also the big macho guy. So it was like big macho guy versus big macho guy, like in our group chat. And so it was just like really cool. It's very nostalgic this season to be able to go team with Josh after seeing his come up and seeing him grow year after year, and then also just having Brandon as our coach and overseeing us after again seeing his come up and seeing him just succeed both on the team and individual side of the sport. It was awesome. But Josh is the man. I absolutely love him. So hilarious, but he will literally die for you. And it's like, to the point where I'm like, hey, like just be careful. So it's it was an honor to like finally be able to team up with him, especially because in 24 his team got 10th, and when we first talked about going team, he was like, I was in awe when he was just like, would you want to go, like, I don't know if you like are thinking about going team, but would you want to go team with me in 2025? I was taken aback because I'm like, oh my gosh, the guy who got like they got 10th last year, like my best placing to that point is in the lower teens, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like this guy believes in me. So I think like that, like too, it's like going back to the whole team this year is, man, like we all had each other's backs and just like completely believed in each other. So even just like, even if we had like our own doubts from time to time, just knowing that the rest of the team was just like, oh dude, like I don't want to compete with anybody else. Like you're like, okay, you're the person. Like let's freaking do this. It just made for an awesome year.
I think that's like, honestly, we hear that so much talking to athletes is like when they find the balance of it being really important to win, but also having like a life outside of that, or like relationships outside of just trying to compete, is that like sweet spot. And probably with team, it's even so much more because you have to like probably like each other, get along, something like that. When you look at like your individual, I guess I would say career, like you started the Open in 2016. Is that when you started CrossFit?
I actually started in 2015.
Okay.
In 2015, I think I forgot to put in a few scores because I was actually that was at least 2015 was my first Open. I actually started CrossFit in 2013, but it was me just going to. I played school sports and I just couldn't juggle going to classes during the week as well as going to practice on top of that. So it was just really going to Saturday workouts. Then in 2015, instead of playing basketball or tennis my senior year, I was like, you know what? Like, I'm not playing sports in college. I love this CrossFit. It's like, I love CrossFit. And for me, I also was battling an eating disorder at that time. And I was just actually like recently like let go from the hospital, and they gave me basically like one more chance to figure out the nutrition side of things and just get a handle on just like all of the mental stuff that comes alongside of that. And I was, for some reason, I was like, I think CrossFit's like the thing that's going to help me with this. Like, I don't think it's me trying to pursue a school sport. It's, I want to be strong. I want to be around people that are fueling their bodies for performance and are just like super confident in themselves. And so that was just like me, like, yeah, starting. And so yeah, like 2015 was my first open, I think. And then like that's when I was like, okay, I got like, the bug. And I'm like, oh, I want to compete. Like, I had a regionals athlete at my first gym, and I was in awe of her. I think I remember her and her coach doing like, I felt like 2 to 300 GHDs a day, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like maybe this is how you get abs or something. So then I tried that, and I don't know how I didn't get rhabdo. But yeah, it's just like for me, it's just like, yeah, I just like started from, I feel like, lower than square one, and came to this point.
Yeah, so like when you look at the obviously on paper in 2016, you're like 20,000 something, and then by 2019, you're like top 300 in the world, which is like not, maybe it seems like a long time to you, but that's a pretty quick transition, right? In a few years. And then obviously you mentioned having an eating disorder. Talk about like that transition, and then also I'm sure like learning how to take care of your body with that was part of it. Like, what does that look like?
Yeah, I mean, I would say like back in like that like undergrad time for me, it was the gym that I went to. I really just wanted to just improve my abilities. Whether it was like, okay, I want to get a chest to bar pull up, or oh, like I want to learn how to handstand walk, or I don't want to keep on scaling strict handstand push-ups for the same amount of wall walk, so I really want a strict handstand push-up. It was like those little things of it was just like always this, like when I switched from like I think just before CrossFit I was doing more I was running, and then kind of just fell into bodybuilding.com workouts and forums and such. And it was this huge shift from aesthetics, which is again just like all that bodybuilding.com, to I want to get this skill, or I want to hit this weight. And I was just like so pumped about working hard to achieve, again, just like this really cool achievement. For nothing else, of again, I just wanted to see what I was capable of. It helped, and for that is okay. That's how I shifted my training, and I still have that to this day. Okay, now it's, instead of me saying, okay, what are the things that I need to do to get a strict handstand push up or a muscle up or things along those lines. It's all right. Like, how do I touch and go the pegboard 4 times in a row and go sprint a 400, which I'm like gonna, try to do at Crash. Like, it's, I think there's always this continued sense of, there's always, you can get a little bit better and a little bit better. And it's so much fun being able to chase that. And tying that to the nutrition side is, I realized that, all right, I had I had a better output when I fueled my body appropriately. And when those eating disorder thoughts came into my head, and I didn't fuel my body like properly. I felt like anytime I would try to add volume, whether it was in skill work or an additional, conditioning piece or CrossFit workout, I just felt tired. And then of course that bled into school, and I would just ride this roller coaster of, okay, I would try to like bring up training, and then I would just like crash and burn, and like I could, hit 60% of my one match. I'm like, okay, this is probably right. And then I'd be like, okay, I only do class workouts for like 2 or 3 weeks, and then I try to add again. And I realized is, I'm putting in so much work on the training side. Is, well, I need to put equal, if not more, effort into the things I'm doing outside of the gym, and that's, stress management, that is sleeping and not, maybe cramming for exam at 1 a.m. And then also fueling myself properly. And it wasn't like, when it came to eating more, it is really still even to this day, if say like I don't get in a training piece that I wanted to because I was stuck at work. And those thoughts still come in my head of saying like, oh, you don't, like, I didn't earn my food. Like I didn't earn the right to eat eat this amount of carbohydrates or you name it. And now it's still me just like combating those thoughts and saying like, okay, let's like, put this in the grand scheme of things is, well, no, I was like, no, it's like, regardless of me training or not training, like I still need food to sustain life and to recover from the workouts that I did, or even to recover from the mental stress of, caring for people all day. And it's always that, it's every day. It's every day that we do a CrossFit workout, it gets a little bit easier to, touch that little pancake button. And it's the same way as me going, up against, those negative thoughts in my head too, when it is related to nutrition. So, to circle back, I think from, again, like it's just like this stepwise progression from 2016 to 2019, just, keeping on showing up and choosing the hard thing regardless, knowing that in the end, it's just going to keep on progressing me forward. And, that's how I got from 2019 to now as well.
I think, we talk a lot about in the space, especially from the female athletes, about eating disorders. And I've heard some people saying that is kind of overplayed because we talk about it a lot, but it is so true. Like I've have some experience with that as well. And I'm kind of similar to you where I learned once I started CrossFit, I'm like, oh, I actually do feel a lot better if I'm not under eating and starving myself. And I have more energy to do these workouts and I want to get stronger, which means I have to eat. So if I want to get stronger, like I have to eat the carbs or I have to eat the protein. And I think that's such an interesting way to kind of like rewire your brain, if you will, to think about that. Because if you think about people who aren't in CrossFit, right, they might not have that avenue to kind of help them with that. But once you said that, I was like, oh, that's kind of what happened to me. The more I understood, I was like, oh no, I have to eat. Like I have to eat if I want to be better at this and do the thing. So that's very interesting to hear. Now it's like all clicking. It's clicking.
Yeah.
I think that's so cool, like coming from an athlete of your caliber, because I think, like, obviously, we both do CrossFit on some level. We understand that. But I think from the outside in, when people see athletes like you competing at the games, they're like, oh, like they have such a good relationship with food because they have to eat so much to do that. Like, you would never think someone like you would say, I have to earn my food, right? Because you're training at such a high level. You must be eating, but it's like, those problems are the same across all levels for all females. I mean, males too, but it is like more. And I think that's so cool to hear like an elite athlete also say that, because I think it's like, oh, we all have the same thoughts no matter what we're doing, right?
And
Yeah.
for people to say that it's over, like for what you're saying, if people say it's overplayed, every time I see an athlete post about it, and I'm like, oh, they do sometimes feel the same way that I do. And I remember Alex LaChance, I think, was the first female athlete that I ever saw post that she had struggled with an eating disorder. And I was like, oh, I'm not alone. And like, this does still happen to the people that I look up to and think that are so fit and like look so good. Like we all have the same thoughts, but every time somebody comes out, I'm like, I'm really glad that I'm seeing it online, because it resonates with so many people that you don't know. I don't know what.
No, it's like, no, it's fine. Everyone loves dogs, but I mean, no, I completely agree. Is, I think when it comes to, like elite athletes, I mean, I think sometimes we always put them, I mean, even me, like put them on this pedestal of like, oh my gosh, like they're just like the pinnacle of the absolute, like everything I want to be. They know they have everything dialed. Everything is just right. And no, like every single day, like, I mean, we're all human, and it's like all of us struggle with something here and there, like whether it's with nutrition, whether it's with a relationship, whether it's just like something unfortunate happening. And I think, I mean, it's me saying like I want to be real to everyone, is like sometimes just like I want to say just like, hey, like it's okay to have a bad day, like everyone has one, or be like, and not to say is be this, oh, life is perfect, happy go lucky kind of person. And it's to say is, it's whether like I don't necessarily like even say that, maybe it's just like even me sometimes being like, hey, it's nice to say is you just getting maybe recognition of like seeing you like like I see you working hard trying to get through this. I'm so proud of you. And like having that side of it, and then again everybody goes through these, is you're not alone. And just I think it's really just that. It's like you're not alone going through. Okay, when it was from an eating disorder, is all right. Like we all are going through these
Yep.
thoughts, and it's like normalizing it and normalizing a conversation around this and saying that, hey, it's a-okay. Like the coolest part is you're working to combat those thoughts and act in spite of them. And it makes you relatable, and it makes the world like a little bit closer. And I think that's really cool. It's to say, it's like, yeah, like someone like, again, at the top of the sport is like, oh, they think just like me. Like they put on their socks just like me.
Yep.
So
That's
cute.
awesome. I love that. Just hopping back to you as an athlete a little bit. I was looking, you've, like Kate said, you've competed kind of all over, and you've competed all over the world. You actually did Dubai Championship, right?
Mhm.
And I grew up in Dubai, so I thought that was super cool. That's like one of my
Dope.
favorite groups. What has been like the best or coolest competition or aspect of competing that you've gotten to be a part of?
Oh my gosh. I mean, I think this like past competition year has been insane. I mean, going to Dubai and then being able to compete at Torium Pro as well. Those are like two competitions. I mean, I watched like growing up in this sport. I knew that Dubai could be a chance at some point, but I never thought it would be, an American could go compete at Torium Pro. And just to have like both, like I can't choose between the others. It was like to the point I came home and I was like, how do I move to Dubai? And then going to Australia, I'm like, how do I move to Australia?
Yes.
This is
It was
Kate's favorite thing to do everywhere we go. Kate's like, how do I move here? And I'm like, we literally just arrived. Like we just
We
got
were in
here.
Indianapolis, and I was like, how do I move to Indianapolis? Like,
dude,
no
I'm like,
convincing.
dude, I mean, I was like that in Pensacola, or like when like you're doing Fitness to the Coast for the past couple years. I mean, it might have. I mean, also like my best friend just moved there, so that also helps. But I'm like, how do I move to Charleston? And it's like this is like it's a magical place. So like it was just like those two. Like I can't put one above the other. It was, I think, to like being able like the only other time I competed internationally was I did Filthy 150 in 2019 when it was a sanctioned event. And it's just like I get to like it's like so cool that this sport like has given me the opportunity to be able to travel the world and meet so many amazing people like in and out of the sport, and people that I mean I could hit up on a moment's notice and be like, okay, like let's try to plan a trip together. Like in Australia, like at a CrossFit gym, I met this one girl, and she that free dives in Australia, and she's like, I'm gonna go to Western Australia someday. Like, let's plan a trip together. I'm like, oh my gosh, like let's do this thing, right? So it's just like those, and like it's being able to like compete in those events has been
Yep.
amazing because I'm on the same stage as the people that I've looked up to in the sport, and those competitions have such a pedigree to them. It was just an honor to be there, and an honor to just be able to be under the see the flames go off at Torian, or to be in the tennis stadium in Dubai. Yeah, it was just like it was being like, oh, this is real. And it felt like going to the games for the first time and being just like super grateful for the moment.
We talk a lot about Dubai on here, but because the landscape is amazing, right? They did that like the first bike event and it was so cool. But we don't ever talk about Torian. Is it as cool as it looks online?
Oh, 100%. It is insane. Like it's a it's like a packed stadium, sold out. Every single time like the event starts or someone crosses the finish line, flames are shooting. You feel the fire on the floor. It's crazy. You're just like, you get this shot of warmth, and you're like, whoa, that just happened. It literally felt like the CrossFit Games. It felt like I was in the Coliseum, or in the arena this year. Just like how electric the crowd was, whether you're in heat 1 or like the last heat. It is, and they ran like such a top notch event. We were chilling out on couches. They're like the physical therapy and chiropractors that they had on set, had their contracted for the event were just like to the nines, top notch. It was, I felt, I mean, yeah, it was
Celebrity.
just, yeah, I literally did feel like celebrity. It was crazy. And just like also the Australian CrossFit community is so tight knit. It was so cool being able to see the other competitors like interact with each other and be so supportive, just like in the warm up area, in the corral, hugging each other after the event, and just like seeing that side of things. And because it's not like all. I feel like no one, or we don't get to see just like how the Australian CrossFit community is unless you go over there. I think a lot of people can like understand Europe and understand the US, and just Northern America, but there's just like such a fire. And it reminds me of like the again 2015, 2016 CrossFit days of just like this whole community banded together. And like no one cares about like the leaderboard in the end. They're just like, they care to a certain extent, but it's just like they're just like so happy for their fellow competitor to hit a PR, or or crush an event that they like were nervous about, and things along those lines. It was the most supportive I've seen just like competitors be with each other, because I feel like sometimes we can be pretty cutthroat in the individual side of things. But no, I just felt like everybody was just like in it to just grow the Australian CrossFit community. And you hear the Australians say that, but to be able to like actually be a part of it, oh my gosh, it was so cool. I actually thought like going to the event, there's only it was Logan Thomas, Hannah Black, and I in the female side, and there's one guy in the men's side that were from America. And at first I'm like, oh man, like will they be like kind of mad at us for taking taking these spots from Oceania? And I was talking to just like some of the competitors, and then just like some of the fans that were there, and they're saying no, like we don't get to see anybody else compete.
Yep.
So it's really cool that this is the first year that we got to see like you guys, or we got to see Guy Maheras, and because we don't get to see these side of things, and we want to see the international competitors too. So I was like, oh my gosh, like you actually actually like us here, which was I was not expecting that. So yeah,
Okay,
it's
we
awesome.
gotta go to Torian next year.
Yeah, no, it's definitely
Dude,
a bucket list competition for sure for me.
No, definitely
looks
like
so
100%
fun.
go.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
It's a long trip, but I feel like if there's anything that would be it. That would be like the pinnacle of competitions for me, I feel like.
No, to think it was, we like had Tia Claire Toomey, we had Ricky Garrard. It's just like all these like top competitors. It's like the most stacked field. The vendors are awesome. The things that they have in between events, like I said, like they had the dance group. There was supposed to be like I think the Australian gymnastics team was supposed to do something, but then it did rain for most of the event, and I think they did have something outdoors, so I think that was canceled. But they have like all these like it feels like like almost like a Wadapalooza. They have a whole they're just like the teams that they have there, and just the things outside of the main competition. It like is just like everyone's there to have a good time and to throw down. So like I 100% like if you guys want to go to Torian, go sign up for Torian. Like do the do the duos, team of 4 is going to be a qualifier for the games this year. But do the team of 4, like try to go to the Torian. If you can go to the Torian, go to the Torian.
Oh yeah, that sounds so fun. And all the videos that came out of that, especially like the dancing, everything, it just looked like such a good vibe.
Brian had
God.
posted a video of the dancers and he was like front row or something. And I was like, why does it look like you're at a Chippendales show? Because they had like their shirts off and they like, it was good. But I was like, this feels like a Chippendales show, but it was really cool. I like all the stuff that they do. It's like, that's what makes it Torian, right? Is all the little extra stuff that they sprinkle in there. And I think it's awesome.
Yeah, like it's like seriously, like they if they even like ran the CrossFit Games, I'm like, I'll travel to Australia again. So like if this is like, yeah, they're like, we're going to
hot take.
yeah, I was like, they can do it. They can do it. I mean, but Torian's like its special thing. Like I think they just need to just like keep on like doing their thing well, because it's just like the more people Torian impacts, it's just, it's going to impact competitions to come.
Yep.
100%.
Definitely.
Should we dive into Crash a little bit?
Yeah, let's do it. We don't want to keep you too long. So let's.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Let's chat.
So this is year 4 of Crash, correct?
Yeah. This is year 4 for me.
Okay, what initially made you want to like compete or do the qualifiers specifically for Crash?
Yeah,
because it's like a pretty tough, competition, tough qualifier.
Yeah. So I mean, well, when I first heard of Crash for its first year, because I mean, being in the Mid Atlantic, like, okay, like I know competitions that happen in South Carolina, and a bunch of my friends from the Charlotte area did it, and I was like, what the heck is this? Like, they're using actual bars. There's just like this craziness happening. Like the first year they had they had pairs going, like they had a pairs part, they had individual going. I'm like, I want to be a part of this. So in 2021, I think it was like literally like I just signed up. Like there's no qualifier. I'm like, I'm gonna do Crash Crucible, and I flew from Florida. I literally flew in like the morning of, because like my flight was canceled like the night before. One of the event organizers like literally picked me up from the airport with my sign, and like 30 minutes, and then like we drove from the airport to the gym, and 30 minutes later I was like out on the floor. So that was like my first year. But so like after that experience, and them also like helping me out through all that, because I was freaking the heck out, it was awesome. And it for the past 2 years I've had to go through the qualifier to go like to participate, and it's a hefty qualifier, not gonna lie. But it's so, I mean, it is the closest thing that you get to the CrossFit Games, but again, like touching that like local community, the local comp vibe that got me so hooked on the sport in the first place. And just like year after year, the competition gets more fierce. It just like is such a spectacle in itself that I'm like, why? Like, I was like, I want to be a part of this, because it's also a way for me to, it's right before like, going to a little bit of hibernation, gonna work on my weaknesses, gonna, just like head down, and, it's a litmus test of, all right, like, what are the things that I need to work on? So, but, it's not like the typical like CrossFit Open or quarterfinals. It's, they're games-esque events that we're doing out there. So it's always something that after that first year, it was always something that I'm like, I'm going to be a part of this, because I believe in exactly what JR is holding here, which is, again, this proving grounds for people of, okay, at the CrossFit Games level or the high level semifinals level, to get, that little like games ass touch, and to know what to work on for the next season. So hopefully they can qualify for the CrossFit Games or go back to the CrossFit Games.
I think it's so interesting. Like Crash is such an enigma, because like maybe the only other thing like that would be the Mayhem Classic, to have a competition of that caliber in an affiliate. And Mayhem's kind of like, I mean, it's an affiliate, but it's also kind of like the Mecca. So it's a whole other thing. But like, you don't really find gyms, one, that like have that equipment, right? Like they have to have been around long enough to have accumulated that level of equipment, and then that size, and then to have that caliber of athlete not at a venue, so you still get that like community feel. I think that's so cool. This is my first one I'm going to. I'm so excited. I was actually like texting JR yesterday, and I was like, I'm really excited to like see the gym, like to see like how you've created this gym that can like host something like this, because it's
Dude,
crazy to
I mean,
think about.
yeah, I mean, I like again, like I was just like very grateful to have heard of Crucible just super early on, and I think no, just like JR, like I mean he said it on podcasts, like he literally like set up the gym so he'd run something like this, and year after year he's just finding more and more ways to just help us competitors out more than anything to get that competition experience that you're not going to get anywhere else outside of the games. So it's just like I don't like it's like I know that people are like, why go to Spartanburg, South Carolina? It is. I mean, it literally has like the same like again that same vibe as like a Torian Pro. It just so happens to just be like not in the middle of nowhere, South Carolina, but in the
Just a little bit,
in the
a
middle
little
of
bit.
nowhere, South Carolina, and
I know.
so it's something that like if you like for any competitor that's just like like it's like vaguely interested, it's like no, like do the qualifier, like or like even with Crash Crescendo, like maybe you just like start out just like doing the team competition, seeing like what the vibe is like, and then you're just like
Mhm.
oh. I understand why people keep on coming back to this competition.
Mhm.
So it's a vibe here. It's awesome. And like I mean, if I lived remotely close to this area, I would this would be my gym. Like if I ever owned a gym, I would try to mimic it just like off Crash.
What did you think when you saw the workouts that were released?
Dude, I mean, I absolutely was like, I love them. I mean, I think I'm gonna be humbled in some events, not gonna lie, and I'm more than welcome to say that. But I like, oh my god, like getting like to be able to do the parallel bar traverse again. I think it's super dope. I love just like the like say like bring it back the like trapeze bar. Like people are like, they're like, oh my gosh, he's gonna bring it back. This is something. This is something I hang a trapeze bar and I'm trying to figure out these muscle ups and then he's just like we're not doing it, dang it. Like then he's like no, you have to use this 2-inch bar and you now all of us are like banding axle bars to rigs and seeing how it feels, right? Or doing it on a yoke. So it's anywho, like the events are awesome. Like they're exactly what I would expect JR to write. And dude, they're gonna test some people. Like I think a lot of people will like either A, absolutely smash them, or just like realize being like, oh, JR's a master programmer, and I didn't see that I was actually gonna blow up. So, dude, I'm excited. I'm excited for these events.
When we were in SoCal, I was talking to Olivia Kersetter, and she literally was like, I can't do it again. Like it was so bad that I was like, I'm not gonna compete again. She's like, I know how bad it hurts. And I'm like, she literally just podiumed at the games and she was like, Crash was like so painful. She's like, it's the most painful thing I've ever done. Because I think
Oh,
they are like talking to someone in my gym this morning. I feel like a lot of times when you look at tests that are programmed to test like gymnastics or like a skill or whatever, they're not like a go hard blackout workout. It's like a muscle fatigue. And I feel like he finds a way to test everything and still make it you can black out while we test that. Do you know what I
uh,
mean?
oh, dude, no, I feel that like every single time. Like I remember,
Like, yeah, I know
and
exactly what you mean. I actually have
oh my gosh,
experience.
no. Like in 2023, there was a pegboard ski zercher like yoke zercher carry workout and and it was one of those things where I'm just like, all right, like it's something that I knew that I was gonna flirt that line between like, all right, I can absolutely smash this, or I'm just gonna absolutely just like blow up. And I'm gonna be debilitated. It was the first event of the
One or the
weekend.
other,
I
you
was like,
know.
I'm gonna be ruined the rest of the weekend. And it definitely hit that one. And I was like, oh man, like I'm messed up. But it's just like it's awesome. It's awesome that like he knows like you said, like exactly how to play things of
Mhm.
you, especially if if you can like flirt that line of even though this is a high skill or a heavyweight, like bringing the fitness side into things, oh my gosh, like it's just like this beautiful, just I mean, yeah, it's just like this beautiful array of workouts that if you can, if like it's a workout that, you know, is up your alley, you're gonna be feeling it.
So I saw, did we lose you? Is it broken up?
She's frozen on my end.
Oh, okay.
There she is. Maybe.
No.
Maybe. A
Maybe.
little fuzzy.
Maybe. Oh no.
Yeah.
I think we're back.
We're back. We're back.
I think we're back.
Okay.
So I saw you and Kyra both kind of calling your shot on Instagram, talking a little smack. Was that for workout event 2? Is that correct?
It was specifically for 2 and 6. Which I thought was so funny. Because not gonna lie, like if anybody was gonna like call me out, it was definitely her. So I was actually I was just like, thank you for calling me out. So yeah, we have a little tiff in seeing who, you know, who's gonna best each other on those 2 events. So, you know, like I'm still gonna bet on myself a little bit. Like I'm, you know,
Oh yeah.
I'm very confident in the things I'm confident in. So
I love it.
so yeah, I think those are, you know, we're gonna have some fun out there. But yeah, it's fun. It's fun to like, you know, just like, you know, go back and forth a little bit. I think like sometimes like people like competitors or maybe like on the female side of things are afraid to, you know, like poke some jabs at each other. I'm like, why not? Like that's what makes it fun.
So fun.
Yeah. And so are you like a gymnastics person? Is that your strength? Do you like love gymnastics?
I like the like upper body pressing. So so like the ring muscle ups are typically not a problem. I love the parallel bar traverse. I love me some GHDs. So I'm just like, okay, like that's a workout that again, you're gonna ride that line of like it's either gonna hurt or you're gonna blow up. Like how are you gonna ride that?
I feel like if you like upper body and gymnastics, JR is a fun programmer for you.
Oh, dude. Well, it depends because I'm not the best upper body puller. So
fair.
So like the run, basically upper body pulling workout. You know, you don't know what's gonna happen. Again, that's one that you know the reps for at least the females. Yeah, it's the choose your own adventure one with the pegboards, the cut rope, and then the regular rope climbs.
Yep.
That's definitely going to be luckily like for the females it's again like the fact that is like okay the reps are a little bit down, a lot of girls are gonna be like again teetering that line of all right like I can push these gymnastics. It's you know we don't have to necessarily think about okay it's you know 18 like heavy or just like higher level skill or 2/3 of the workouts or 2/3 of the movements higher level skill gymnastics. So but I would say I like me I like a press. Like I mean I feel like I'm a gym bro. I'm like give me like a bench press, you know, like I can do that all day long. It's the upper body pulling that maybe gets me, but it's that one's gonna be fun though. It's like again teetering that line of you know are you gonna do well or are you gonna blow up? It's gonna be one or the other.
I'll be ready with a mic to interview you as soon as you're done with that event.
Please. She'd be like, Hannah, what? Like, which line? Where did you fall on that line? And
I think we'll know based on how it goes, but
yeah, you know, it's either like, am I gonna have a smile on my face, or you know, maybe I'm gonna, you know, maybe have like myself like a little like just like 1 minute cry session and then move on. You know, it's gonna be one or the other there.
I'll wait till the cry session's done before I put the mic in your face.
It is very telling. When we were at WFP, Mesa was interviewing people and I would pull them for the interview when they got off the competition floor and she'll be like, I want this person. And they would come off the floor and I'd be like, maybe not. They don't look like they want to interview right now. Like you can always tell by the face or if they're very happy. I'm like, you want to do an interview? They're like, yeah, of course. But some of them, I'm like, maybe we should wait until the next one to see if they're more ready for their interview. So you guys are definitely telling.
That's the problem, though. Because there's always like when I go to competitions, there's always like, you know, the one like full send bike sled, something like that, where everyone's on the floor after. And I always know I'm not going to get good interviews after that, if any, because like those workouts and like crashes entirely those workouts. So now I'm like, here's hoping someone's going to be like, yeah, I'll do it, like dying.
Oh my gosh, no! Like no. I mean, I think a crash. Everybody's gonna be like pretty gung ho. Like it's okay if you're on the floor. Just like be like, hey, how you doing? You just like stick the mic
Here's the
and you're to like here it is. It's like hey, it's like you ready? And you just nod. You just nod. But no, it's like so funny. I mean, I've gotten like a little bit better over the years of just being like, again, like taking my lumps. Like, oh my gosh, there's so many good people in this sport that, like not everything's gonna go your way. So it's just to be like, oh, and I'll like totally like be on camera and just be like, yeah, that event it didn't really go well for me. I'll be the first person to say that. To be like,
no,
you know
you
what?
called your shot. We're gonna win some. It's fine. I'm calling
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, I was like, I'll be super confident in that. And then yeah, if I'm not, even if it's an event that's not going my way, I'd just be like, you know what, that could have gone better, but that's a okay. That's a okay. At Torian, I was interviewed after a like one of our events with strict deficit handstand push-ups and an ascending weight clean, and I'm not the strongest in the sport, so I definitely got I that was definitely a lump workout. Like I couldn't clean like the second to last bar, and I'd say like a third of the field finished the workout, and they're like, "Do you want to interview?" And I'm like, "Sure, why not?" I was like, I don't know. For me, be like, I don't know why you want to interview me. I was with Gracie Walton too. She's just like, who are you? And I'm like, it's okay. Like, I'm just one of the Americans. And, but, yeah, it's like, it's okay. It's okay. Heck, I'll shed a tear online. Maybe, I'm being real.
It'll make for good content. I also think though, like sometimes, like the workouts that you don't do well on might still be like a really good workout. Like you're really proud of that performance. Like I remember I interviewed Hannah Black at WFP for the 2 mile run event, and it was like a mid pack, but she was stoked because it was like a huge PR for her running wise. So sometimes those workouts that are like not your best are actually like a huge PR or like a weakness that you've improved. And I think that's a really cool interview too.
Yeah, and like no, and like having those interviews. I mean, hey, that's gonna be like so much more impactful. Like again, for like the community at large, of saying like, oh wow, like who cares about the leaderboard? Like, are you proud of like the effort that you just put in and like leading up to the event and in the event? Like, dude, like, give yourself a high five. Like, who cares? Who cares if it's like a 10th or something like that? Like, or like even like there was like one event, I can't remember, but I swear, I think I still got like bottom 3, and I was just stoked to I think like finish it.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my gosh, like I just finished this workout. This is dope, and yeah, and I didn't care like at all. So like those are the things that are gonna like just like carry you forward in the sport a heck of a lot more than like all right if you see that oh man it's not. Like, who cares about the placing? Like, you can't control the rest of the field.
Yeah,
so.
it's the effort, right? Yeah. I do have to call this out. PC was like, unless it's Tola. And someone was like, just lay down next to them, mic in hand. When I interviewed Tola at all WFP events, he sat down like mid interview. And I would like slowly bring the camera down and sit on the floor with him and like just sprawled out. And I was like, oh, we're still talking. Okay. Yeah. Like just like slowly goes down. And I was like, I mean, I understand you just did that, but like, it's so funny when that happens.
Oh my gosh. No, I respect him so much more for doing that. He's just like, hey, I just did a really hard workout. Like, can you just sit down with me?
Sit with me.
Like, just, yeah, sit. Like, let's sit
I interviewed Dallin after one of them, and he was like spitting after the Echo bike. And I was like, do you want to take a minute? And did I lose you? I was like, do you want to take a minute? And he was like, nope, I'm good. And he was like spitting while he was interviewing. And I was like, and we're going. Cool.
We really see you guys at your best when we do things like that.
I think it's like you've like hit like another level when you don't necessarily care like like how you come across. It's kind of just like I worked hard. Yep. And I'm just not gonna put on this poker face. Like I just like you need. I was talking to a friend. It's like sometimes I think it's scarier seeing somebody just go like absolutely full send and black out and just like hit this like ultimate intensity because you have to match that or best that to beat them. And like I'd rather like I'm more scared of that person than the one that's being stoic across the finish line.
That
It's
makes
like
sense.
you have to be kind of crazy.
Kinda, a lot crazy. A lot. I think of Tim Paulson on the Echo bike that year at the games. I can't remember what year that was, but he just went ham. I was like, I don't want any part of that, and I don't know if anybody else does either. But his hair's blowing back, like he was going nuts. I always think of that when we talk about full send. Ugh, no, thank you. That's why you guys do this and we don't.
Oh man, no. I think I think anybody who again is trying to like improve themselves like in this sport or like really in anything, like I think there's a little bit of like a screw loose in all of us.
Oh yeah, like me and my friends are like, we don't do this because we're like super well. Like
Like,
there's something a little wrong that we enjoy this level of
Yes.
hurt, right?
Yes.
That's what unifies us though. It's like we're all in this together. We all have this like one collective mindset together.
Shared suffering really does something, I think, for sure. Hannah, before you go, we always ask all of our guests to give us a hot take. It could be about CrossFit, it could be about anything, something that may be a little controversial that maybe not everybody agrees with you on. Not to put you on the spot, but we do this to every guest.
Man, do I have a hot take?
She sounds like me every episode, and I know it's coming.
I know. I was like, I should have better prepared for this.
It can be about Crash if you want it to.
Man. Let's see. Hot take.
I thought of one in the car today, and I was like, this is such a good hot take. Can't remember it. And I should start writing them down. I have one ready to go. And now as we've been on here, I was like, man, what was that I was going to say earlier?
You're like, I need a jog in my memory. Let's see. Man, this is going to be like very like philosophical. I think in my opinion. But I think there's like a lot of things in like social media or the personal development world that is saying just like or you can take Mark Manson and it's just like, oh, just like stop like caring about like what everybody else thinks, and like again like the subtle art of giving an F. I'll be PG. I think a lot more people need to actually like do the opposite. Like I think people like they like go like freaking try. Like go try, and like who cares if you absolutely fail? Like you need to like actually like freaking care and not have this like lackadaisical or just like I should be like, oh, like I didn't want to put all my cards in this basket. I'm like, no, like do the thing 100%. Like there's like if you're not gonna like actually like give your all, like why even do it? Like don't have it out. Like literally like just don't have the safety chute or anything like that. Just go like full throttle into something and just like actually like care. Like actually like give your all. So I think that's just like that's like the one thing that came to mind when like I first saw that, and then I was like in the CrossFit space I'm like I don't know, but like in life in general I think it's that.
Wonderful.
I love that.
I think that was the most philosophical hot take we've had, and we have had Brent Fikowski on, so that's saying
a lot.
Oh dang! I feel like that's a hot take. I won up just faster. I don't know about that.
I love it though. I always say like I think caring is cool, and I don't know when it became not cool to like care a lot about things. And I love that you said that. That was awesome.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
We're excited to watch you. I will be watching from afar, unfortunately, but Mesa will be there. So I'll
be on the floor while you're crying or coughing or spitting or I don't know what, but I'll be there.
Do come out. I like, you'll see the Dan Bailey drool. Like that's like I feel like my that's my classic look, unfortunately. And it's like, you know what? Like, I'm here for it.
I have Brooke Wells on video, like her gum falling out of her mouth while she's clipping the mic on, and she's like, oh, that's my gum. And then she like picks it up and just sent it on her water bottle, like pre-interview. I cropped it out, but I do have it. So you can't get much worse than that.
No, it's okay. I mean, it could have been a lot worse. It could have not ended up on the water bottle. So it could have been a tiny bit worse. But yeah, we'll have that. I'll just like wipe off a little drool and just be like, okay, I'm ready.
Yeah, we'll take you however you show up. It'll be fine.
Exactly. Just like all like disheveled. It's just like, yeah, it's like, again, I want to be real for the people. That's more people need to be real. And yeah, I'll show all the glory of competing at, this high of a stage in the sport.
I'm so excited.
Amazing. All right, Hannah. Well, we will let you go. Thank you so much for coming on. This was so fun. Enjoyed this. Good luck this weekend. Like I said, we'll be watching, but you're going to kill it.
Oh, I appreciate it. Thanks for having me. And this was a blast. I would love to come back on again.
Yes, we'll love to have you.
And come to my gym.
Yes.
Dude, in February, I'm coming.
There
I'm
we
down.
go. There we go. Bye, Hannah. Thanks.
Bye.
Oh, so
All right,
fun.
real quick before we finish, we have a super fun announcement. Kate, do you
Guys,
want to take it away?
We have our first sponsor, which is really exciting. We're working with RF Supplements. I've been posting about them for a few weeks, but they are now a sponsor of the podcast as well. So this episode is brought to you by RF Supplements, the NSF certified supplement brand trusted by athletes who demand clean, effective performance. From protein powders to peptides, RF Supplements has everything you need to perform at your best. No fillers, no shortcuts, just science-backed formulas built for real results. Check them out at rfsupplements.com and use rf.itbo for 15% off your orders. RF Supplements, fuel your potential. Guys, this is so exciting for us. Really grateful for this opportunity. I actually know Rue is the guy who owns the company, and I've known him for a few years. I met him in San Diego, and he's been really good to us. So excited to partner with them.
Yeah, I got to meet him in real life, or in real life, I say, because I feel like it's mostly on the internet in SoCal, and it was super cool. He was like mesmerized by the CrossFit world because I think that's like he does a lot of strength and conditioning. So this was kind of breaking into the CrossFit world. It was super fun. I have some fun swag he sent me that I can't wait to debut. And we'll be making some posts with some of our favorite products soon. But I was really excited, and I feel like branding matches us so well. It looks so cute. The little purple pink. I love it.
Looks so cute. Like we said, Mesa's going to be at Crash putting out some content this weekend. I'll be at home crying as I'm watching everybody else post stuff. I'm already having FOMO. Next year, though. I'll be there next year. Same time next week. I don't think anything's changing. We'll see you guys next
Thursday,
week, or I guess this weekend on our Instagram channel. Say what you say.
Yeah, go follow us in the box office. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, and I'll be getting as many parking lot interviews as I can this weekend. It's going to be great.
Bye, guys.